Hi everyone, this is Ajita. Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be learning about basic piping, which is piping 101. All you need to know about piping so that you can pipe like a pro. So let's get started with this now. Let's start by knowing piping bags. In market there are different kinds of piping bags that are available. Right now I'll be sharing some of them. So here you see big piping bags that are plastic ones. These are use and throw ones. Those are big ones. Now here are the smaller ones that are available. Depending upon the quantity of icing and usage, you can use either of those. Coming to reusable piping bags, we have silicone ones, we have cloth ones. Here you can see the silicone one. You can use these for more than once. Here you can see I have snipped off the edge. It comes closed. I have snipped off the edge for me to place my nozzles and all. I think you can see the hole. And then there is DIY piping bags, which is with parchment paper. I take a square paper in parchment. I fold it in half so that I get a triangle. Make sure the fold is proper. I like to do it double layered. I don't like to cut it because it gives much stiffness to the piping bag rather than just single sheet of paper. Now I take the edge of the paper, I turn it, not just straight, not like that. I turn it and attach the tip to the top tip of the triangle. You can see the tips are attached. Now I do the same thing on the other side. I take it over the already turned one. I take it back, I attach the tip. Now you can see how you get a piping cone. Now all you need to do is take those three tips together and fold them a little bit so that they stay in place. Now I'd like to tear it a little and fold it once more so that it stays in place like that. So here is the DIY cone. I like to use these for smaller amount of cream only. I don't like to use for bigger amount of cream because it tends to come out. So this I use only for writing, and if there are small places I have to put dots and all. Now coming to piping nozzles, we have lots of variety in nozzles. We have big ones, small ones, different size, different shaped, everything. Here you can see a big ruffle nozzle which is used for cupcake icing generally, and we can even do a few carnations with that. Then you can see the Russian nozzle which is used to pipe the flowers directly onto the cake. This is my favorite. Then we have the Sultan tip. This is a little unique. See that round place, we don't get the icing, we just get it on the outer part. Then we have our one and only Open Star. This is like any baker's best friend. Now we have the C-shaped, then we have the rose petal one, then we have a big star with multiple. We have a leaf tip here. We also have the basket weave tip. I hope you can see that basket weave. We use that. Then we have the ruffle tip. This is for frog, the Barbie doll cakes generally. The ruffle comes out from there. So again we have the closed star, the brother of Open Star. You would need that. Here we have a little transformed star tip. This is good for different kind of floral designs. So we also have another leaf tip here. I hope you are able to see that. So this is another leaf tip. And now we have our good old round tip, a small one. I hear a lot of people saying that they can't use the piping tips properly, they are not good and all. So coming to precautions you will have to take are, make sure the edges of the tips are not sharp. You don't want them to cut through your piping bags and the icing coming out of your piping bag. You don't want that to happen. You want it clean, crisp but not sharp. Then you want to make sure the top part, wherever there are grooves, ridges and all, there is no excess of metal or anything on the top which will affect the output. So you make sure it's smooth and nice with perfectly driven grooves and ridges. You want it to be clean. You want a crisp finish and proper tip. Now coming to the star tips or the ones with the edges and grooves, you want to have the edge or the top part, as you can see the top part, to be very clean and sharp. All the edges aligned, not up and down, right? And then again the groove part with the lowermost one to be sharp and precise. You can see this is very sharp and precise all through all the sides. Also you want it to be the same, you don't want little upper or little lower ones. So make sure you check that whenever you are buying any nozzle, it is proper on top and on the groove part. And then whenever there is a possibility, see that you get tips with the ridges on the bottommost part. See what happens is sometimes this ridge, you can see that, yes, that ridge you can see, so that you want, because sometimes with the pressure, sometimes the nozzle comes up and down because of the cream pressure. So with the ridge that doesn't happen. You have to see the even tiniest one should be sharp and nice, so that the cream comes out precisely and perfectly from the piping nozzle. But make sure you check every nozzle while you're purchasing it, so that you get the optimal output. Now coming to the precautions and tips of storing these nozzles is, you don't want to put nozzles into one another which are not of similar type. What happens is the edges will get disrupted because of the weight, or they may get cling to each other, and that may happen, so the edges will be spoiled. So you don't want to put them like that. You want them to be stored separately in individual slots for each piping nozzle, so they are proper and give you a long shelf life. And whenever you are using a certain tip, make sure that you wash it right away and store it. And sometimes when you can't wash it right away, then use hot water and detergent, so that nothing is there on that, no residue is left inside the nozzle, and no grooves are clogged because of that. And when you have small tips like this, you can see there are very small openings. Make sure you take a pin or something that's kind of sharp and clean everything properly, so that there is no residue that is clogging it in. You get these tiny brushes in market. These are for nozzles to be clean. I don't know what are they called particularly. I got it from some local store. So this brush you can take, you can put it inside the nozzle and clean it properly, so that even where your finger can't reach, all those residue is cleaned thoroughly and it is stored properly. So now I'll be sharing you the list of few tips which are absolute basics for any baker to start with. So here are those, most of them are in this pile. So let's see the list. Round tip, that is absolute minimum. Everyone wants a round tip. There are n number of uses that you can use a round tip for. Then you have open star. I've showed you in previously the open star. We want a closed star, that is also good for cupcakes and florals, etc. The grass tip, it also has multiple uses. The rose tip, my favorite, it has, I don't know, I can't count the number of uses it has. It can be used for piping ruffles, then roses and whatnot, leaves, everything. Then the C tip, that's very good for piping the intrinsic flowers. Then you have a basket weave tip, that I think is also very necessary for a baker to start off with. These are the basic piping nozzles you want to start off with. If you have additionally taken anything else, that's okay, but these are absolute basics for anybody. Let's see how you have to place your nozzle into a piping bag. I see people cutting the piping bag and then placing the nozzle directly, so that's not the case. You want to do it. So take your piping bag, open it, you will have a edge. Take the edge, open it out, then make a place, put your piping tip whichever you want. Make sure you see the edge and you put the piping tip into the piping bag. Then push it as much as you can to the edge of the piping bag. Then with the other hand, feel the grooves, where the grooves are. You can see those. With the other hand, feel those. Then push the piping nozzle back and snip off the excess piping bag. You can see how perfectly it fits. I'm zooming it in just a second. See, now you can see all the ridges and grooves are out, and it is the perfect amount of the hole we needed for our piping tip to fit. Now we'll learn about filling the piping bag with the cream. So all you need is a tall glass, the cream and the piping bag which we fixed. So the cream here is stiff peak cream. You can see it is not very soft, it is stiff peaks. For those who don't know, I'll put a link above for my whipping cream video where you can know how to whip it to this consistency properly and all other basics of whipping cream. Now take your tall glass. Here I am taking my shaker bottle. You can take any tall glass. Take your piping bag, open it up, put it inside the tall glass, and make sure you put the outer edge of your piping bag over the edge of the tall glass and make some place for the cream. Now it's all ready. Now take the cream, little by little you can put the cream into the piping bag. Do this little by little only, don't put all at once because you tend to put it all over your place. So little by little just put it and push the cream into the piping bag whenever you have to, so that there is not excess and that doesn't come and stick to your edges of the piping bag. Now the cream is placed, remove the edge of the piping bag upwards so that it is now closed in the piping bag, and at any point of time you don't want to put more than 2/3 of the capacity of the piping bag, because what happens if we were putting more, the edge opens up, the creams start coming from the outside, it all comes out and makes a mess. So you don't want that to happen. So take your piping bag, once you put the cream, start pressing it until you can see the cream coming out, so you're sure that it is coming out nice and precise. Now how will you hold your piping bag? Turn the top part and take your dominant hand, right, mine is right, so put that turned part in the groove between your index and thumb. I hold it or where my fingers are wrapped around the piping bag. So that's how I hold it. You're securing the top twisted part between your fingers. Now the left hand, the non-dominant hand, under the piping bag, that is just for the stability and guidance. So you hold your piping bag either perpendicularly this way or horizontally this way, not at odd angles, because it will be very hard for you to move your wrist at that angles. It won't be free movement. Now coming to what your hand action should be for piping the icing onto your cakes. So what you do is hold the piping bag as I told you earlier. You can see I'm holding with my right, which is dominant hand, on the top and the left on the bottom to guide. So now I'll guide my hand with my left for the stability and guidance, and the right for the pressure. I'll be pressing only with my right hand, which is my dominant hand on the top. I won't be pressing with my left hand. So you can closely observe I'm holding it tight. Now when I am piping it, I'll just use my right hand to press the icing out and left hand to hold it stably and move it along properly in proper lines or circles. So I'm holding it stably, I'm using it to run around. See, now I'll be pushing the cream with my right hand, which is my dominant hand, and I'll be using my left hand to guide my circle, which I'm doing it here properly and stably. Now you see that that's a mini rosette which is perfectly piped. Let me show you once again with another design. So I am pressing with my right and I am just holding my left to make sure my piping bag is stable and moving consistently. So right is to give the pressure and left is to guide it. For whoever the right hand is dominant, for the left handers it's the opposite way around. Let's see the piping one more time with a different design now. Press with your right and make sure the left is giving it support for stability and a smooth movement. This may seem a little tricky or painful initially, which it did for me at least. So just give it a little practice, take your plates, practice on the plates, reuse the same cream, so you will be perfect at what you do. So practice does make it easy and perfect as well. So that's about piping it. See, my right to press, left to guide. So I hope I've covered everything that one needs to know about piping with piping bags onto your cakes. be it whipped cream icing, buttercream icing, or ganache, whatever you want to pipe. These are the absolute basics you have to know so that your piping is smooth, consistent. If there is something you want me to answer or something I didn't cover, please feel free to leave the comments below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you all. Signing off, Ajita. Bye bye.